Well, hey there, YouTube. It's Petey Two Finger. I had made an unboxing, a mailbag video, where I unboxed this Tomsline Engineering bass limiter pedal. Now, this is a $23 bass limiter, which is like a compressor that has the ratio turned up to infinite. So if your compressor is not really cutting it, the next step in Sonic Assault is employing a limiter. And I apologize for running my air conditioner. It's 75 in here, but if I shut it off, it'll go up to 80 real quick. So yeah, I ordered this Tomsline ABL-3. If you look it up, there's a pedal made by Aroma, and Aroma and Tomsline may be made by the same manufacturer and rebadged. I'm not sure. The one pedal, not the ABL-3, the one pedal has like volume gain and tone controls, or volume sensitivity and tone, which is kind of didn't strike me. And I also saw a video where they compared a Behringer, an Aroma, and a Boss bass limiter. Now, if you're gonna buy a bass limiter, you see that the Boss bass limiter is like not cheap. It's around $150, $180 or something. It's, forgive me for not knowing the exact amount, but it was more than I wanted to spend. So I ordered this, hoping and praying that it would do the job. It arrived today, and I tested it, and I gotta say I was impressed in the performance. I haven't tried it on the pedal board, which I will grab that. You can take a look at the pedal board shortly. But what I wanted to say about the Tomsline ABL-3, it came with some 3M Velcro, which was pre-cut. It came with a sticker that I put on one of my battery packs, and this QR code certificate, I'm not sure. We're gonna try that later when my technical department arrives. So yeah, I opened the unit up and examined it. It's got top screws, and there are screws on the bottom. So I opened the top screws and took a look at it. It's got a LM358 op amp in it. It's SMT, surface mount technology, so it's not through-hole component build. But I gotta tell you, for $23, I was fairly impressed with this pedal. And the extras, if you're using bicycle chain links to connect the pedal to your pedal board, what you need to do is use a razor. I like to use a carpet blade with a little bit of masking tape wrapped around it to grip it better, and then cut in there because there's a rubber pad that's they use some adhesive or epoxy, and underneath that 1mm rubber pad will expose those screws where you could tie it in using the bike chain. Now it comes with pre-cut Velcro, so there you go. I ended up using that, and it affixed nicely to the pedal board. So my premature review was just testing it with a guitar and a small amplifier. I gotta tell you, the proof of the pudding will be when we go out and test it. This bass is a headless bass, and it's got resonant issues, so if you play a C, it's very quiet. The C note drops down like 6 dB. It just disappears. And if you hit a G, it's boosted like 6 dB. So this type of discrepancy makes it tough. You can run a compressor, but it's not enough. Now, when you think of a limiter, if you've ever heard about the loudness wars, like there was a Mariah Carey album that came out in the 90s that was kind of a big deal pop music album, and it was 18 dBs louder than Black Sabbath's record. And that's ironic. Now, when you talk about the loudness wars, this is employing the use of a limiter to bring up the level of the music to the maximum point and then limit it, so there are no peaks. It's just a solid wall of music. And see, when you do that, you remove all the dynamics. There's no soft and then loud. It's just all loud. And the reason, I've seen people theorize on this, like there's a boardroom at the record company and they bring in mixes or masters from guys, and basically that mastering process is employing compression, EQ, and limiting. This is how they master these recordings. So they will audition, they'll have like 5 mastering engineers take a whack at mastering this whatever band's album, and they bring the CD in and they play it. This is this guy's mix. This is the next guy. And typically what the boardroom members will tend to pick will be the one that's the loudest. And that's just an effect that we have with our ears. When we turn it up, it appears to sound better. So this is how we ended up in this place where we're at, where everything is over compressed. And that story has been out for a while. Any self-respecting audio person is aware of this and should not be using those practices. You should not be stomping the heck out of any life that's left in your music or any dynamic range. In the case of this, it's for the bass and we need it. So I'm not going to say, oh, the tomsline ABL-3 is the best limiter in the world. I'm going to say for $23 it does the job. And I will know more about it when we actually do the complete test and play out at a remote outdoors using this pedal board. So I won't know for a while, and I will be reporting back in about this pedal. But do you guys want to see the pedal board real quick before I wrap this one up? And again, I apologize. I did perform the entire unboxing video, took the pedal apart, talked about all this, and then somehow, while I was uploading this to YouTube, it got deleted, which was user error. It was this guy, my fault. So it didn't magically get deleted. I deleted this. So here we go. Drum roll, please. Wow, this is kind of big, kind of heavy, Charlie. Oh. Here's the back of the pedal board. Ugly, different color. We got a purple and a green battery in there. There's a single DP-DT power switch, and then how the wiring goes is there's 2 of these batteries. They're 4.7 volts, and then another 2, and those packs are connected together. So we have 2 batteries in series, another pair of 2 batteries in series, and both of those packs are connected in parallel, which doubles the capacity. But it's basically around 8.5 volts. It's not 9 volts. But so it's the equivalent of running your pedals on a battery that's been broken in, but not in any means dead. So here's the front of the unit. I did use bicycle chain links to adhere, affix. Wow, that hurts. To affix these pedals, we have a buffered tuner, and that's important, the buffer. But I really like this tuner. The display on it, it's a great, easy to use tuner. This is the Boss AW3. This pedal may be coming off of here depending on how it performs. I've got a what is it? A Maestro FSH1, which is a little bit more of an analog, old school thing. But this is an auto wah, and it's got some humanizer, vowelizer. You can plug an expression pedal into it. It has guitar and bass inputs, which hopefully we're using. Yeah, we're using the bass. This is a Coco compressor. It's another one of those $20 eBay Chinese pedals. And then next is the Ultimate Drive. This was recommended to me by the internet. It's supposed to be really good for bass. Here is the noise gate, because when you have these, the distortion on, it's very noisy. And then over on the far side, coming up, this cable here goes whoop, 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 and comes down here. This is a Demeter fat control, which boosts the mid frequencies. So that really works well to accent the auto wah, even the distortion. Or the what's following it is a phase 45. It's a phase shifter for those Pink Floyd type sounds, maybe. A little bit of that. Phase shifter is always cool. Then we have the Omni Cab Sim, which is kind of like another EQ. It sounds really good. This is a great pedal for bass. If you're looking for a cab sim that you want to build, check out the Omni Cab Sim. That PCB is available at wherever you buy PCBs, more than likely. I'm not advertising for those guys for free because the guy was kind of nasty to me. One of his chips died. One of his EEPROM chips died. And he was like, I've tested that chip. And I said, well, did you leave it plugged in with a lithium-ion power pack for a week till it completely drained the batteries? Because that's what happened. I'm doubting that he performed that test. He did end up sending me another EEPROM, but it was like... Anyway, here we've got the ABL-3. This is the tomsline Engineering bass limiter that this video was made about. It's got the white knob is sensitivity. Then there's volume and threshold. And last but not least, we have the wine cellar. This is a preamp, and it does have a XLR output. So I bought a XLR that's 90 shaped because I was thinking, like, the way that this is going to sit on the ground, that 90, the regular XLR would kind of stick out a little bit and be like a tripping hazard, maybe. This way, if we use that 90, it's going to come out and go this way, and we can run that cable back over there, and it'll go like behind and then up to the mixer. So I got a 15-foot 90 RCA. And the way that this XLR jack was installed would mean that stock, this 90 would come out and go down, which I didn't want that. I wanted it to come out and go up. So I took the pedal apart and unscrewed the jack screws and just flipped it around 180 degrees. It didn't exactly fit. It's kind of this is the volume or the low frequency control. It's like touching the back of that potentiometer. But if you were gentle and thread the screws in and kind of just carefully screw it in there, it's screwed in and it should be fine. So this is the pedal board. I did put switch tips on some of the pedals. Some of the other pedals, the switch tip would block the line of sight to the LED. And these are more than likely, like the cab sim and the preamp and the noise gate do not have switch tips on them. So they do not have switch toppers, is what they're called. And I apologize for running the air conditioning. It's like I said, it's 5:30 p.m. and it's like 75 degrees in here with the air cranking. So that's the pedal board. You want to see me turn it on? See the pretty lights? Wow, this thing is heavy. I mean, it is heavy duty rock and roll. And the tuner didn't come on because I don't have a jack in the input. But yeah, that's got Super Gomtis pedal board. I'm gonna try to replace these green and purple batteries. Put some yellow ones in there because they're harsh and mine mellow. All right, you guys, try to take care of yourselves. Stay cool and peace.